The Rift system has essentially grabbed the best things about rare farming in WoW and bounty hunting and, of course, event farming in Guild Wars 2, mixed it together, and made the best system I've seen in Guild Wars 2 in a long time. Let's talk about it. So, the new expansion has rifts. We didn't know what they were, we didn't know how they would work, but now we do have them. And they're actually pretty cool. I was actually kind of scared that it wouldn't be as fun and as interesting, and they would just be worse bounties essentially. But they seem to be very, very fun to do. And why is that the case? Considering, well, they're just bosses in the open world. Is that really that interesting? Well, yeah. And why is that? It's because, first, of course, difficulty settings makes it so you can actually choose which way, which difficulty you want. If you want to be, just completely destroy the boss, or if you just want to go in and absolutely destroy it. And absolutely, try and actually fight to kill the boss and do mechanics and, go into the greens, although the greens are kind of bugged right now, but, all these things. And, of course, getting more rewards and, use them to get ore skins or, or, well, actually craft motivation, sell them for gold, or craft your legendary eventually, or start, working on it, right? So there's a lot of options. Of course, bounties as well did have the same thing. You had champions and legendaries, but I would even say that even the legendaries, even though they did need more people, they were not as interesting and as complex as the ones that we have now. So they definitely have more, that was, I think, a bit better. But honestly, even though those are great things, I don't think they're the biggest reason why they're so, honestly, successful. I think the biggest reason is, and honestly, I was kind of scared that this would be a bad thing, is that whenever I'm here. Whenever you want to get into one, you have to go chase it. You have to chase it around. You don't know where that is exactly. Well, of course, if people are doing them and they open the rift, it does appear, which is kind of cool. For example, as you can see, it's here. But normally, you would just have this thing and you have to go look for it. And now, of course, they all go, they all appear in the same spots. Tier 1s appear in very specific spots, Tier 2s in very specific spots, and Tier 3s in very specific spots. But you still will have to go look for them and wonder, which one is it this time, or whatever. And the good thing about this is that whenever you're going towards them, whether it's using waypoints or using the Griffin, you're gonna find these random events that sometimes you wanna do because, of course, you wanna get achievements. And right now in Series of Obscure, a lot of the achievements are by doing random events. A lot of the mastery points are from doing random events. So while you're doing the rifts and farming them, you might see, wow, that's a weird event that I haven't seen before. Fuck, I need to go do it now for one currency that is actually very useful to get skins or materials or whatever. That you only get from events, by the way. Well, I'm going to the rift, or maybe I'll just do it after the rift. So there's actually a good incentive to be in the map, going around and exploring all the time, which it didn't used to be the case in other expansions, I don't think. And it's pretty cool. The other thing that is very, very cool as well is that, you using motivations to get better and harder rifts essentially benefits other people. So this way, there's a very good, essentially community system. This is like community event of like, I'm gonna pop a harder tier that I used gold for, so you guys can get it as well. Even though I need it as well, and I will get rewarded by doing this, but you will also get rewarded, and sometimes they will do the same thing. So it's like this very good social aspect on it that I think works pretty well. And I think honestly, it makes the world feel so alive, unlike bounties that essentially felt very much like, we're just gonna do bounties and nothing else, and we're just gonna keep doing it. And also, it is pretty cool as well that you can do them in between metas, which I guess bounties did the same thing, but you can also get them in other maps as well. For example, right now we can do it in Thunderhead Peaks, and of course people are not doing them that much here because everyone needs the masteries from from Soto, right? Everyone's farming those masteries and the mastery experience. But of course, doing them here and changing maps and essentially having a new place where you want to where you want to explore, makes it a bit more fresh, and you don't feel like you're essentially farming all the time the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, right? So honestly, I think, and we haven't even seen the new rifts that we're gonna get in 3 months. They essentially the hard one, the tier 4s, right? So it's actually, I think honestly rifts are very, very success and way better than bounties. Even though I think honestly one of the biggest reasons why they're better than bounties are not even from the actual rift system itself, but what's around it, what's around how the map works, how the masteries works, how the currencies work, how the rewards work in this expansion. So I'm actually very, very happy overall with them. I think it is also very interesting to me that with rifts. With rifts, they essentially grabbed what WoW has, because WoW essentially what they do there is that you go to a map, you see a rare in the map. For example, let's say that you see a little icon in here, right? Let's say it's here, right? Right here. You see an icon there. Everyone goes there, kills the ad, sees another one here. Everyone goes there, kills the ad. This one here, blah, 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 and just keep going forever and ever, right? And every map, essentially, almost every map, does that in order to get rewards, in order to get mounts, in order to farm events, and in order to farm rares. That's how they call them. But because bounties, bounties kind of used to be like that a little bit, right? You would go back to your waypoint, you would check it, okay, you would get a bounty, you would see, oh, it's here, everyone go there, right? Then you would go back, then, oh, there's another one here, you would go back, you go there, and so on and so on and so on. But because the rift essentially doesn't actually tell you exactly where it is and you can't really predict it, it's a very, very good way of moving around, copying this idea of like going through a map, exploring it, that WoW essentially had with rares, and putting it in a better way where you can do not only the bounties, not only the rares that you would get in WoW, but also random events in the middle of the map that will get you more experience, currencies, and other stuff, right? So it does seem to be a very, very good system that works very, very good in this expansion and in this expansion maps, right? But also will work pretty well in other maps, like honestly anything Living Season 4, because well, every event that you do here is as well gonna give you some volatile magic, which is also very good for gold. And of course, depending on the event, you might, for example, I'm pretty sure that the bounty rifts in another week will spawn in Mount Maelstrom. So for example, you could be doing your rifts while you're waiting for the core event in here in Maelstrom to happen. So I think overall, very, very good system. They essentially took everything good for bounties, everything good from rares in WoW, and put it in Guild Wars 2, and essentially highlighted all the things that Guild Wars 2 has that are very good, like the mount system, like the event system, and made them very, very good. I'm very excited about it. I'm very happy with it, and I hope they invest more in it. I don't really have that many critiques, to be honest, on how it should work. Other than, well, sometimes it bugs out and the ads don't spawn at all, and that's pretty sad. But other than that, oh, and the mechanics sometimes are a bit, the greens kind of don't work properly as well. Other than that, the rifts are a great success. I'm very happy with them, and I'm very, very proud that I did something good with this. And I'm honestly more excited about the rifts that I've been about, honestly, the 2 metas we got. I thought the metas were okay, and we'll have a video about that one in the channel, of course, but I think this is honestly more important and more impactful for the game. Thank you for watching though. Tell me what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch. Have a good one. Bye bye.